So, this evening's discussion is going to be pertaining to desire. And desire can be anything, really. But we were talking earlier. Me and I both desire a boyfriend. And we're just going to talk a little bit about the root of wanting a boyfriend and where this desire comes from. Want to comment on that now?
I guess it stems from the basis of like not wanting to be alone. You know, like I feel like desires come from that one spot where it's just like, okay, if you have that item, then you won't be incomplete. Like you won't feel neglected or anything like that because that one item, whatever it is, whether it be a material object or something physical like a relationship with someone else, we all want it and desire it essentially out of the fear of being alone or feeling incomplete, especially in this society where there's a lot of emphasis placed on, having something or getting something, or if you have this, then you're so much better than something else or someone else. So
yeah, I definitely agree. I feel like we have different like levels of desire and like different things that we do desire. Like, it's a different kind of desire when you desire like another person or wanting to be with another person, or you just desiring like, oh, I want these new shoes, or I want this new jacket. They're satisfying different things inside of you. And for me, I'm struggling with desire of wanting to be with someone. And I think it comes from like more recently just seeing a lot of relationships and thinking that it's the norm, Yeah. Like it's something that's natural. It's natural for us to be in relationships and for us to be close with each other and be able to express ourselves to each other, share in an experience. And I just feel like from the community that I wanted to be a part of, it seems like it's prevalent. But if I look at the reality of really the majority of society, everybody wants to be doing things on their own, or they think relationships are taboo, and it just kind of sucks when you know that you could provide a good place for someone to feel comfortable and to feel like they can share in a very human experience with you.
I mean, that is definitely true. Like I think we were commenting on that before about how me and you are both essentially like catches or whatever, to say the least. Like we're driven, we're beautiful people, we have an open mind about a lot of different ideas and things in the world. Yet the people who we most want to be with don't even recognize it or act on it. And it's getting to the point where it's just like, okay, is it us, or is it that they're so wrapped up with, because it excuse me, like in my situation, it's like, okay, the person that I'm feeling or whatever, it's just like, okay, they have this idea of their mate as being, drop dead gorgeous, red bone, something, like all these characteristics, like thug but not thug, it's just a lot going on or whatever. And it's just like, okay, that person or whatever, you might find the physical attributes in someone like that, but what they can give you might not be of any substance.
Right.
And then what? Like, you could go
you just
for
some face.
Yeah, you can go for the pretty face or whatever, and the the illusion of happiness and things like that goes along with that. Or you can settle, like, well, not even settle, because it's not settling, for especially if it's something that's real, as what I'm proposing. Like, or you can go for something that's real and genuine in every form and still beautiful or whatever. And you know, like just because I don't fit that image, whatever, doesn't mean I'm not beautiful in my own. And not saying that, you know, that I'm ugly or anything, and that's why I'm hiding behind, you know, this black screen right now. But that's not the case. Let that be known right now.
Right.
But still, that's essentially like what it appears to be, and I keep letting this go out. So
I agree. I feel like people, maybe everyone just has their set type or the things that they want, and everyone just keeps going after that, but it's not after the person that's wanting you, you know? Like the person that I really desire, which is, it'll soon to be ended, but I like the type of person that he is, and beyond his physicality. Like, I appreciate his spirit. I love his energy, the knowledge that he has. And he is beautiful inside and out. But there's always an excuse, like, as to why he's so distant. And then my only goal is to try to make him feel comfortable.
mm-hmm.
But if he doesn't want to, then I can't do anything about it. And that's why I need to stop my desire of him and just let it be.
Yeah. Now let's talk about like actual desires. Like I've been getting into the habit where when people say something and they'll be like, oh, I'm afraid to be judged or something like that. And I'll say, well, what is judgment? Now, I guess I'm faced with this question, like, what is desire? Like, is it really a desire, our want for, you know, this relationship and this type of love and acknowledgement? Or is it something like true? Is it like not even a desire in altogether? It's just like a natural occurrence, I guess, where it was just supposed to happen. Like we're just looking for that occurrence, not even like why I labored as a desire, because desires, you know, usually go along with like, you know, greed or something like that. Like you're throwing yourself or whatever so much into this one entity where you're getting lost in it or whatever. And that's why a lot of people say, you know, oh, get rid of your desires because they'll be your downfall or some shit like that.
I think desire is something that you can transcend. And like I said, it's all depending on what you're desiring. I feel like, and I don't think desire is always a bad thing. I just think it can become very dangerous. Like, I can want something so much and think about it all the time and want it to be happening and think about it, and it'll kind of take over my thoughts and saying, instead of saying, you know what, it's not happening. It's okay. And I just don't want the type of desire where it's like I'm questioning myself, because I should be confident and firm in who I am. So for something to make me feel like, well, why am I not getting this? That's causing me to question who I am.
That's real.
And it shouldn't be that way. Like, I'd say I'm pretty confident, but I just get kind of discouraged when I think about the way the world works. But then you have to know everyone that you want isn't always going to want you.
Yep. But I feel like I have to come to terms with that myself, where it's just like, okay, I may seem, you know, like I want this person, and this person may be throwing me hints or something like that, but at the end of the day, no action is being taken. And partly, like, on my part, because I feel this person may not be ready, and that's why I'm waiting for them to give me a sign or something like that, where it's just like, okay, this is real, what I want to do with you, and let's experience this together. But it's not happening, so my desire for this person has to, you know, like I have to cut the ties or whatever until they present themselves to me, because there's no point in me trying to. And then this is where it becomes unhealthy, like you were saying, like keep fantasizing about it and obsessing over what could be, when in reality it's not going to be, because I already know the dynamics of the situation.
Yeah. Sorry.
So,
yeah. Shit sucks.
Yeah.
But it's something you have to do as adults, you know? And think about the bigger picture and other things that are important. Because then also the other thing is, too, it's like, all right, are we supposed to be having the same mentality? Like, oh, we're young, we're just going to fuck around with different people and not really think about a relationship, too? Like, are we just kind of ahead of the time? Ahead of where our mind is supposed to be? Like, why?
I feel like, in a way, we are, but then again, we're not, because we still, just like our peers and counterparts, where it's just like, okay, they want to be with somebody, they want that connection, that sexual connection or whatever. And I'm not gonna lie and say that that's not a big part of why I want to be in a relationship, but it's not the only factor in faction with that. You know, like there's more to it than that. Like, I want to have that connection with someone I can trust and respect on a completely
spiritual and mental and physical relationship.
Exactly.
Like, you want to connect with them on all different planes.
All different planes, where it's like, okay, even to the point where being introduced to friends and things like that, it's just like, okay, you know that this person is with Nye or whatever, and that relationship that they have is something sacred, and they respect and cherish that.
Yeah.
You know? And I just need to have that manifest into reality. I need it to come, and I need it to happen. But the only way, like, just like with my past relationship, that I've noticed that it truly happened was if I stopped looking and stop obsessing over this idea of being in a relationship with the perfect person. You know, like,
yeah, that's hella true.
Perfection technically doesn't exist. There's imperfections in us all and in everything that we see, regardless of what science or man says. And the only perfection, I guess, would be the imperfections of that.
Exactly. You'll find somebody who has all of the things that you like and some things that you don't like, but they're things you can deal with.
And that's what makes it perfect.
Because it won't be fun if someone was just perfect all the time.
It'd be scary. Quite scary, actually.
So I guess we all kind of want a sense of a little bit of, I don't want to say drama, but a little bit of something else. Rather than just everything being cookies and cake all the time.
Yeah.
But I don't want no extensive drama. I just want I want a friend, like a really good friend that I can touch.
Like, low key, like, on some real shit, I would be extremely content if I had a really good friend as well, who wouldn't mind, giving me that affection. Also, like, we don't have to have the physical, that physical intimacy that lies with sex or anything like that, but the occasional touch, the grab, the cuddle at night, or just the
intimacy.
Yeah, just the intimacy.
The unsexual intimacy.
Exactly, of just staring at this person, conversing with them, and just being like, yo,
I fuck with you as a human being. I fuck with you as a person, and I just love being around you. Like,
yes.
No one is just, like, okay with it being that way. Like, if you do tell somebody that you feel that way, they make it seem like, oh, we're trying to be in a relationship.
Exactly.
Or they make it way bigger a deal than it needs to be.
And therein lies the problem. Because in that, it transcends into a whole different realm of complication, and it makes everything awkward and sketch, to say the least, because then they don't know how to interact with you, because they're not sure, like, oh, well, he wants to take it, or she wants to take it to this next place where I'm not just, I'm not ready for it yet.
Right.
When it's not even the case. It's just like, yo, I respect you as the individual and the person that you are. and what you have the possibility of growing to be. So let's just get together
Right.
and show each other how much we respect each other.
Right. I'm here to show you love.
Yes.
And that's it. Like, I'm not here to create politic with you. I'm not here to create drama with you. I'm just here to show you love and express myself. And the thing is, people are so scared to feel and speak truth without the thought of consequence. Mm-hmm. Everything has to be like, oh, well, if I say this, what's going to happen? If I do this, what's going to happen? Instead of just letting shit happen and mm-hmm. just accepting all the goodness that comes with it. It's not a bad thing to be connected with somebody.
It's not.
It's not a bad thing to
we were
show
all
affection
meant to
towards
be
somebody.
Connected.
Exactly.
And to show affection or whatever, especially like at least into like a certain degree. Like everyone, whether they say it or not, wants a hug or whatever. And that's why I'm really big on hugging or whatever. And everyone needs a hug every once in a while because it's just like, okay, to transfer that energy, whatever built up aggression or animosity or, you know, stress with a hug or whatever, you're just, and you're taking that tension from that person and allowing them to break down or whatever and see that you're genuine by, you know, like taking over all that passion and stuff from them. And if people just realize that we just need to give each other more hugs and show each
kisses
other more
and cuddles, then the world would be a happier place.
A much happier place, because right now we're all hiding behind what appears to be this sheltered shield or whatever, scared of what's going to happen if you show your true self. But it shouldn't be like that. We weren't meant to be like that.
Right.
You know, like, since when, like, my thing about it is just, like, this is how I feel about clothes. Like, we came into this planet naked. Like, we were birthed in here in the nude, the natural skin. I'm not saying, you know, I'm, you know, gonna just strip down every day and shit like that, but why be afraid to touch somebody or just be like, hey, listen, this is okay.
And we are not condoning rape.
We're not condoning rape.
Or
not
molestation.
Because this is on the grounds of, you know, you vibing and
mutual,
connecting. Yeah, mutual understanding and a connection with
nothing
someone.
Forceful.
Yeah, nothing forceful. We're not with that shit. Okay? The first... Oh, my gosh. Oh, that's a whole nother topic. But, yeah, like, people shouldn't be afraid to do that with someone who's, you know, comfortable with that. And the fact is, it's like, okay, we're trying to figure out why the mentality isn't like that. Like, right. What happened? Where was the disconnect in the human chain? Where affection and showing another person that you love them or whatever became taboo, or at least in, you know, the public eye. Not unless you're exploiting yourself for sex, which is absolutely ridiculous to me.
Right.
That it's okay to, you know, show for one thing but not another. It's mind-boggling. But desires, what can you do?
I don't know.